Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Well, do you want to go fishing for 20 rupees? Sure. Wow, you have a rumble pack. Today you can feel the vibration, young man. Okay, listen up. Walk up to the water's edge and press Z to look at a fish. While looking at a fish, you can cast your line with B. Press A to break the line. When the lure drops into the water, you can wiggle it with the analog stick, although if you're a novice, you can also use the B button. Reel in your lure with A. Hold down A and R to reel it in faster. If you feel a hit, press A and down, and the analog stick down to set the hook. After that, reel it in with A. You understand? Yeah. I'm so generous, I'll let you fish for as long as you want. However, you can keep only one fish. The biggest fish ever caught here weighed about 6 pounds. After you cast, you can change your view with the Z button. Let's fish. In the last part, we did some various side quests around Hyrule, namely getting a lot of skull shells and heart pieces in the process. And at least to start off the video, we're going to be continuing doing that, as I want to do this fishing side quest now, because I hate fishing in this game. Fishing side quests are usually a very good or a very bad mechanic, depending on the game, and depending on, like, the AI of the fish and all that. Like, fishing in Yakuza never annoyed me, fishing in the Persona games greatly does. And Ocarina is not a good fishing minigame, to be honest with you. It's weird because it's not very mechanically deep, but there's one very important thing you need to learn in terms of catching the biggest fish at any point in time, who is usually in the center of the lake, though I do believe the 3DS version added a Hylian Loach later on in the game, which is like the super fish for you to catch. The biggest fish is always near the log right here. It's that fish right there right now. And to catch that, you just need to wiggle the lure enough to the point where it just goes, you know what, yeah, I'll bite. The biggest pain in the ass is you constantly need to hold down the A and the R button alongside holding it generally the opposite direction from which it's going to reel it in. However, there are times, especially with the biggest fish, where they just decide to say, no, I'm letting go of the lure now for some reason, or it'll just get freed. And the biggest problem is, if they get freed or don't bite at all, there's a chance they will get scared. And if they get scared, they go deep into the center of the lake. In which case, catching the fish is made incredibly obnoxious. At that point, it's just best to reset the area by leaving and re-entering and paying the 10 rupees again. Wow, this is a real lunker. Let's see, it weighs 10 pounds. Do you want to keep it? Sure. Or 20 rupees, however much this place costs. There is notably a hidden lure known as the sinking lure you can find in a couple locations after you've caught the biggest fish. But I'm never showing that off because I don't like fishing. What do you want? Let's weigh the fish. This is how we actually get the reward for doing this. Whoa! This fish is huge! It looks like a new record. It weighs at least 10 pounds. Seriously! Okay, here's your prize. And for doing that, we get a piece of heart. A fair reward, I'd estimate, but still, I don't like fishing. I'm actually glad that Majora's Mask in its original form didn't feature fishing in any way, and then 3DS brought it back with multiple fishing holes. Some of which you can only get while doing certain transformations. One of the many reasons I'm not doing Majora's Mask 3D when I get to that game. With that, though, our business over in Lake Hylia is concluded, so it's time for us to head back to Hyrule Field. In particular, if you want to progress with plot the way they want you to progress with plot, you want to head to Death Mountain through Kokiri Village up on the northeastern portion of the map. However, if you go up there now, you'll eventually have to backtrack to a different place anyway, so I'm getting it done first. Hi. Beyond this point lies Lake Hylia. It is full of deep, pure water. The Zoras, who live all the way upstream, guard the sunken temple at the lake's bottom, as well as Zora's fountain. If you want to confirm its location on the map, press Start to switch the subscreens, and Z or R to find the map. All the places you have visited will be shown on the map. Ooh. Do you want to hear what I said again? No. Okay, be careful and whoa. You know, it's rough. I feel like people are very hard on Kaepora Gaebora just because he's the tutorial character to teach people new things. And yeah, on repeat playthroughs, that's annoying. But why are we always so mean to the tutorial characters? Yeah, there should be an option to skip it, but at the same time, it was an early game in the genre. So why are we complaining so much? It's more of a problem if they did that now. I'm looking at you, Fee. I like Skyward Sword, but Fee got annoying sometimes. Either way, we want to come back to Kokiri Forest, because there's a couple things we can do here now with our current loadout. Though, notably, very few of them are actually in Kokiri Forest. They're in the area to the north of the forest. That was where we really want to go. Though there is, notably, behind the Know-It-All Brothers house, a gold sculpture we can get to. You're supposed to go around the other way, but I can just backflip over that ledge. Notably, there are some particular sculptures like that are technically out of reach of you if you just try to walk into them. And the best way to get them is to either do a jump attack into them or backflip into them, because you do raise yourself high enough that it can grab some things. Moving on, up here to the north is an area I believe you could have at least tried to explore back in your first visit, but I don't think you could have done anything up here if you could access it at all. I actually think there might be a Kokiri blocking it off at that point. This is the Lost Woods, and this place's name is pretty appropriate for its mechanic. You might notice the music is a little muted until we walk this way. A lot of the passageways in here are dead ends that lead you back to the entrance. And if you don't follow the music, you're gonna be sent back, is the best way to describe it. So make sure you're paying attention to your ears and find out the way around it. Also, if you shoot the center of this thing 3 times, this happens. Cool! You're great! You scored 3 perfect bullseyes! I had to give a neat present to such a wonderful person. Please take it. And for shooting 3 bullseyes in a row, which is really easy, we get the Deku Seeds bullet bag once again. We can now carry more bullets. This bag holds up to 50, so our slingshot's capacity is now actually maxed out. And down here, there's another little secret for us. Bring out your ocarina with these imps right next to us. Follow along with our song on your ocarina. We'll lead you into it. Alright, so this is an odd little minigame where the 2 imps/skull kids in front of us will play an increasing amount of notes several times in a row, each time adding an additional note. If you get it right every time, you get a bonus. I believe you get some rupees at first, but we have to do this 3 times in a row, each time them adding an additional extra step at the end. So I think this one ends at 5 notes, then we have to do it again to do 6, then 7, then 8. Actually, maybe the first time they do 6. Either way, you need to do a lot of notes in a row. And the first couple rewards aren't anything spectacular, but it's the final one, which is why I'm doing this. And that takes some time, so let's fast forward through that just so we're not listening to Ocarina for like 2 minutes plus on end. This takes ridiculously long. Some people I know call this the most annoying minigame in Ocarina just because it's long and tedious, and you know what? They're not entirely wrong. I think there are more annoying minigames myself, but this is definitely tedious. Though notably, I do believe the songs are completely randomly generated, so due to that, there's a chance you can just a pattern of left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. And I think I may have even seen that in someone's randomizer runs on Twitch at one point, which is extraordinarily funny to me. But also, God, this minigame takes forever. But it's worth it in the end because you get a piece of heart. So, completionists be damned, I guess. With that, now we can move on in the Lost Woods proper, because that's actually the last side thing we can do for right now. Technically, I say remembering one other thing I do later on. Follow the music and your go. Hi. Hey, over there. Ooh. Link, good to see you again. Listen to this. Ooh. After going through the Lost Woods, you will come upon the Sacred Forest Meadow. That is a sacred place where few people have ever walked. Shh, what's that? I can hear a mysterious tune. You should listen for that tune too. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Do you want to hear what I said again? Go away. If you are courageous, you will make it through the forest just fine. Just follow your ears and listen to the sounds coming from the forest. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Go away. I was nice to you at first, but you're showing up a lot. On the first playthrough, the Lost Woods can be kind of confusing, but it's when you come back to the game that you really just get used to it. Though I honestly forget if repeated playthroughs, or on repeated visits, if this mechanic works the exact same. Some part of my brain wants to say that the mechanic doesn't work the same after the first time. The rest of my brain says it does. Either welcome to the Sacred Forest Meadow, we have a new enemy, a Wolfos. These things will block your shots pretty often unless they do that. While they're swiping, they will very often just try to guard your attacks, which can be pretty annoying. But there's one very nice thing about them in that they take double damage from behind. So if they turn around at a very dumb moment like that, you can one-shot them with a jump slash. Otherwise, I recommend using spin attacks to take them out, as especially if you do the quick input spin attack where you rotate your analog stick and then press B. Very often they'll hit themselves while trying to attack you. And yeah, I don't even think I've mentioned a spin attack thus far. Yeah, if you hold the B button, you can do a spin attack, just like in A Link to the Past. It's very short range, at least for right now, but it's useful enough, I suppose. Also, we have, I think these are called Mad Scrubs. They're like the Deku Scrubs from the Great Deku Tree, only they die, actually, instead of not die. I've been waiting for you, Link. This is the Sacred Forest Meadow. It's my secret place. I feel this place will be very important for both of us someday. That's what I feel. If you play the ocarina here, you can talk with the spirits in the forest. Would you like to play the ocarina with me? Sure thing. Okay, try to follow along with this melody I will play. Are you ready? Great, great! Please don't forget this song. Do you promise? When you want to hear my voice, play Saria's song. You can talk with me anytime. And we've learned Saria's song. Which does, as Saria said, if you play it at any point in time, you will actively contact her, and she can give you some extra hints on where to go or how to solve certain things. She's essentially a second Navi, only she's not constantly screaming, hey, listen, in your ear. And even then, I act like I've always been annoyed by Navi saying, hey, listen. I've honestly never really cared. Because it's only really annoying if you actively talk to her every time she says, hey. If you don't pay attention to her, it doesn't really matter. Also, this is a fairies fountain. These are located in various places throughout the game. And they allow you to grab fairies, which are not only high health recovery, but in case you run out of HP in the field with one in the bottle, you will be revived with 5 or 10 hearts. I actually forget how much since I seldom die in this game. I want to say the last time I died in this game was when I last played the game, which was high school-ish. This game is weird in that it's hard for me to actually die in, but it's easy for me to take a lot of damage very quickly, and depending on the place. Woohoo! Did you learn an ocarina song from Saria? That melody seems to have some mysterious power. There may be some other mysterious songs like this that you can learn in Hyrule. If you hold the ocarina with C where a melody is necessary, a musical staff will appear. I recommend that you play a song you know. I also suggest that you play even when a score is not displayed. Just like this. Do you want to hear what I said again? No. Melodies you have learned will be recorded on the quest status subscreen. You should memorize those melodies. Yeah, that's also a thing. If you check the pause screen, namely the subscreen that's between the map and the equipment, as I'm about to show you, you can see all the songs you've learned in the case you need to remind yourself on the notes for them. There's usually only 1 or 2 songs per playthrough that I always have trouble forgetting, or remembering. So it's not too bad, but you can forget all the same. With that, though, even though I looked like I was leaving the Lost Woods, I want to come back in, because there's now more stuff we can do in it now that we have Saria's song. For instance, we can play Saria's song right here. That is Epona's song. And playing specifically right here. You know Saria's song? We should be friends. Here, take this. And for doing that, you get a piece of heart, which, that's always nice. Hi! Do you think my face is kind of plain? It's just not very unusual. He told it won't be important in the sequel. And now we can come over here for a soft soil patch that I actually immediately want to use the bugs on, as that's going to, of course, spawn yet another gold Skulltula. There are times where the bug's AI is very inconsistent on how fast it wants to get into the soft soil, and that can make recapturing the bugs kind of annoying unless you're just mashing that particular C button the moment you spawn them. But thankfully, they behaved with me relatively common in this LP. But now I want to fall down here, as there is a particular individual down here, right there. That is a business scrub. Once you reflect a Deku Nut at them, like we have with all the other scrubs, they become a shop. I surrender. To make your quest easier, I can enable you to pick up more Deku Sticks, but it'll cost you 40 rupees. Let's make a deal. Sure, thank you very much. Business scrubs like this are going to start showing up even in dungeons moving forward, because they can give you Deku Nuts, Deku Sticks. They can replace your shield in the case you lose it to fire, because the Deku Shield can't be burned. They're going to be all over the place, really, moving forward. So get used to seeing them. And also make sure you carry some rupees around, since you may never know if you might run out of supplies, that they might be right next door to help you out. With that, there are actually 2 more soft soil locations in the Lost Woods and the Kokiri Forest that we can drop bugs at to get some some gold Skulltulas. So we're going to head out of our way to do that. The first one's in a bit of an odd location. Also, don't mind that rock arc and that little lake over there. Those will come into play later on. Starting from right here, we can head west an additional place to this little grove. Now, there's a couple of Deku Scrubs here. They sell, I think, Deku Nuts and Deku Sticks, respectively. But there's also a soft soil patch that I can dump some bugs into, and that's always good. There is notably one other little hidden thing in this grove, but we can't do anything with that until I start another side quest later on, so I'm not even going to show it off. Also, I've never noticed that the mouth of the gold Skulltulas moves when it rotates. That's kind of creepy. Now, to get to the next soft soil patch, the best way to do that is to just leave the forest through any of its given exits, which there are plenty of, thankfully. And now we want to head behind the shop, as right over here there is a soft soil patch. Something I do like about the game and how they place things is that they always place the soft soil in the place where you can notice it. So in the case when you get the main item you can use on soft soil later on, you'll immediately have a memory of, oh, I remember seeing this here, and here, and here, and here. And that's just cool. But with that, I'm going to need to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 7, I believe we're finally progressing with plot full on. See you guys then.